Greetings. Welcome to this NCJW Cleveland chair yoga practice. The theme this week will be self-reflection. Come to your chair. Hopefully you've set it up on a mat or a rug where it can't slip. Ideally, your chair has a nice, flat, strong bottom and no arms. We can work with it even if it does have arms, but it's best without. Come halfway up on the seat. Sit up tall with a dignified posture. Back is straight, but not rigid. Knees over ankles, toes pointing forward. Shoulders gently pulled back. Chin parallel to the floor. And let's come into this space together. Maybe closing your eyes or staring down at your hands or perhaps straight ahead at something not moving. We call that a drishti point or a focal point. And begin to slow your breath, making your exhalation the same length as your inhalation. Turning inward into this space where we can find some peace, some calmness, and where we'll consider self-reflection as the season turns into fall. Slow, steady breaths. Eyes open or closed, bring your hands by your side, and we'll do some sun breaths which mimic how we're going to breathe together through this class. Inhale slowly as you lift your hands and pause. Exhale just as slowly and pause. Let's do two more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring your hands to your lap. Take your gaze up, stretching your neck to look up, going only as far as feels good in your body. Inhale, and as you exhale, look down again, listening to your body, never doing anything that hurts. Continue to breathe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over one shoulder. Slow, steady breaths, continuing to sit in your dignified posture. Inhale, and on an exhale, come to the other side. Slow, steady breaths. Inhale back to center. Bring one ear to touch the shoulder or towards, you'll never touch. Going only as far as feels good. Maybe adding your hand, not to pull, but just to give some extra weight if that feels okay. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side with or without the additional weight of your head. Inhale back to a seated posture. We'll do some shoulder movement now. I think this time we'll do one arm at a time like we're swimming. If this feels good. Maybe lifting both arms and moving backwards. Slow, steady breaths as you do this. One more. Sit up tall, bring one hand to the side of the chair, lift your other, curving your spine, slow, steady breaths. Inhale and reverse. And breathe. Coming back to center, lift both hands up, reach one shoulder up, and then the other, bringing the shoulder down when you release the stretch. Then reach both hands up, maybe crossing your fingers, pushing up. Inhale, exhale to one side, let your arms come down. Continue to sit up tall. Slow, steady breaths as we twist. Each exhalation, relax into the pose. Each inhalation, Imagine your spine getting longer. Coming back to center, reach your hands up again. Cross your fingers the opposite way if you're doing this. Reach. Inhale, and on an exhale, twist in the other direction. Slow, steady breaths. And coming back to center. Reach your hands forward. Move your back into a C. Slow, steady breaths. This is cat. Inhale, and on an exhale, sit up tall, bring your hands behind, maybe lift your head into cow, and breathe. And if this feels good in your body, beginning to move dynamically, so either inhale or exhale into cat, inhale or exhale into cow, only moving as you start to either inhale or exhale. This is moving your spine, also using your core. Slow, steady breaths. And come back to seated. Check your posture. Toes still pointing forward, chest still lifted. Take your hands to the back of the chair and come forward. Your back can be straight or just slightly curved. Lift your head if that increases the stretch in a good way. Slow, steady breath. This is like a cobra pose on a chair. Using all the muscles of your back, stretching the muscles of your front. And come back up. Open and close your fingers, move your wrists, spread your arms apart, move from side to side. Maybe palms up, palms down. Come to stillness, give yourself a hug. Inhale, exhale, open. Take a big inhale, exhale, the other hand on top. Bring your hands to your hips, to your lap. Take both feet forward. Experiment with keeping your soles up or down, see what feels better, but try to keep your knees straight unless they hurt. Sit up tall, engage the muscles of your core, your abdomen. Inhale, and as you exhale, come forward. Slow, steady breaths, keeping your back straight, maybe looking up a little. And breathe. You should feel this a little bit in the back of your legs. Sit up tall. Lift one leg, bring both knees back. Lift one leg, move your ankles, your toes. Put that foot down. Pick up the other leg. Again, using your ankles. If you can, move your toes, moving them. And put that foot down. Lift the first leg and move it in the hip joint just to get that lubricated. Maybe moving your foot, that feels good too. Maybe not. Put that foot down, lift the other side. And put that foot down. Lift the first leg and experiment with just maybe moving it a little bit up and down if that feels good, but continue to sit up tall. And put that foot down. Again, just moving that knee joint. You could be moving slowly, but definitely breathing slowly. Pick up the first leg and let's see if we can move it just a little bit further, maybe just past the midline, but if you can't, that's okay. Come back to stillness with your leg bent at a comfortable distance. See if you can let go. This is a strong core exercise. And if you can't and you're still holding the leg, that's fine too. Slow, steady breaths. And put that leg down. Pick up your other leg. Again, moving it in the hip joint. Maybe just coming past, maybe not. doing what feels right in your body. That's part of self-reflection. Coming to stillness, lifting your torso so that you're sitting with a dignified posture. Maybe let go, really using your core muscles. And if this is too hard, continue to hold the leg, that's okay too. And put that foot down. Open your feet, open your legs, knees still over ankles, knees and toes always pointing in the same direction. Sit up tall, engage the muscles of your core, maybe push the small of your back a little, and then come to a straight but not rigid posture, maintaining the natural curve of the back. So you're not sitting stiffly, but straight. Sit up tall, inhale, and on an exhale, come forward with a straight back and breathe. If you're having trouble keeping your back straight, maybe look up a little. That will help. If you need more of a challenge, let go. If you don't, continue to hold. Inhale and sit up. Exhale and come back just an inch or two, keeping your back straight. Only if it feels really good in your neck, maybe look up a little. And if not, keep your neck straight with your back. Again, maybe lifting your hands. 2 slow breaths here. Coming back to a seated posture. Inhale and exhale, come forward. Using your hands, twist to one side. Inhale and exhale, using your inhale to lengthen your spine and your exhale to just gently relax into the pose. And breathe. Inhale back to seated, exhale, come forward, and with your next exhale, twist to the other side. Slow, steady breaths. Again, inhale, lengthen your spine, exhale, relax into the twist. Come back to seated, bring your feet together. Send one foot forward with a straight knee. Cross your other foot. Maybe you can't bring it up. Maybe it's just on the floor. Maybe this feels good. If this doesn't feel like you're getting enough of a stretch, try a little higher. You can bring this foot anywhere except on the knee. If this is still not enough, bend your knee so that your knee is over your ankle, and it's okay to bring your foot up. Don't force that knee down, and only do this if it feels good in your body. In any position that you've decided to take, it's okay to inhale and exhale and come forward to deepen the pose. But remember, do what's right for your body, and it may be any of the postures that I've shown you. Slow, steady breaths. And come back up, and let's reverse. Straighten the other leg. Discover where you need to be on this side. Try to keep the knees straight, listening to your body. Inhale, and on an exhale, maybe come forward if you need more, or continue to sit up straight. That's okay too. And come back to your seat and come to one side. Let one hip come off the chair. Keep your knees over your ankles and hold on. Holding on to the back of the chair. Lift your front arm up, maybe look up. Maybe a gentle curve to your spine if this feels good. Breathe. You can be looking straight ahead if that feels better. Bring that hand down and begin to walk your front leg back, only going as far as feels good. Going perhaps as far as your knee pointing down. You can be on the top of your foot or on the ball, whichever feels better. Look straight ahead, engage the muscles of your core, and let's lift that arm again. See how that feels. Maybe look up. Lower your hand. Inhale, and on an exhale, take both hands to the back of your chair and twist. Slowly come out of the twist and come to the other side. One buttock off, one buttock on. Starting with both feet on the floor, lift your arm, maybe coming back. Really stretching the muscles of your back if this feels good. Maybe looking up a little and maybe continuing to look straight ahead, listening to the needs of your body with kindness. Bring that arm down, hold on to the chair, and begin to walk this leg back. Again, going only as far as you need in your body. When you're stable and holding on to the chair, maybe lift one arm up, maybe curving your spine back gently, and maybe just continuing to sit up. That's okay too. Add slow breaths and you're doing yoga and reaping the benefits of the practice. Lower that arm, sit up tall, take both hands to the back of the chair and twist as you exhale. Slow, steady breaths. And gently come around. Let's do some football feet with your soles, with your heels, with the whole foot. Bring your feet to stillness, and we're going to stand up using our core muscles. If you have to use your arms, that's okay, but try not to. And maybe sit down and get up again unless it's too hard to do that. And while we're here, let's practice chair. So in chair, and you can do this facing the back of your chair. I'm going to show you this way so you can see what I'm doing. Start standing and then bend your knees as if you're about to sit in the chair. And just stay at a comfortable place where you're really using the muscles on the top of your thighs. This is a good exercise. Maybe lift your arms if that feels okay. Keep them at your heart center. Anywhere that feels good. And breathe. And stand. Come to the back of your chair. Holding on. Inhale, come to your tippy toes. Exhale, come back down. And let's move. Coming back and forth. Come to your tippy toes and maybe stay. Maybe experiment with lifting one hand off. Maybe the other. Maybe keeping them close. I'm not too stable this morning. Come back down. Holding onto the chair, and I'm going to turn it just so you can see, but you keep looking straight on. Holding onto the chair, walk your feet back slowly until your hips are over your ankles and you're able to bend forward. Engage the muscles of your core, going only as far down as feels good in your body. This should be a nice stretch in the back of your legs. Slow, steady breaths. And if you're all the way up here, that's okay. Listening to your body. And breathe. Inhale and walk back. Stand up tall. Take one foot back. Lifting your torso, maybe raising the opposite hand, maybe looking up. A nice total body stretch. Lower that hand, bring the foot back. Let's try the opposite leg, opposite arm, maybe looking up and breathing. side of your chair. We're going to do tabletop, and in tabletop, you stand up tall and then bend with a straight back, holding onto the chair, and you look like a table. Your hips are over your ankles, your shoulders are over your wrists. Take one foot back, leave it on the floor, and breathe, or perhaps lift it a lot or a little, depending upon what you need. It's less stressful to keep looking down. And it's certainly okay to still have the foot on the floor if that's what you're up to. The more you practice, the stronger you get, the deeper you'll be able to go into the practice. Bring that foot back. Inhale, and on an exhale, first come behind. Stay here, or maybe lift that leg. Slow, steady breaths. And bring that foot down. Slowly walk your feet back, just as we did on the back of the chair. Stay here. If some of you are feeling very strong and your chair is very stable, you can bend your elbows and come a little lower. Now only do this if it feels good in your body. This is like a downward facing dog on a chair. And breathe. Come back to tabletop. Stay here. Maybe lift your head into a cobra. Slow, steady breaths. Look down and slowly come out of the pose. Shake out your feet. Bring one knee to the edge of the chair. Separate your feet so that your hips are facing the side of the chair. Engage the muscles of your core. Maybe hold on to the chair if you need, or bring your hands to heart center. This is Warrior One. Look straight ahead. Maybe lift your arms into the full warrior pose. Continue to breathe slowly. Pick something that's not moving straight in front of you. That drishti point or focal point. Imagine your breath coming in through your nose, traveling down through your body, rooting you into the earth with stability, rising into your arms and your head, aspiring to reach our spiritual high to the heavens. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring one hand at least to the chair. Make sure your gait is stable, your balance is stable. Straighten that front leg. Stand up tall and come forward. This is pyramid pose. Go only as far as you can with a straight back and no pain, just a stretch. Some of you may be able to come even further down, but listen to your body with kindness. Slow, steady breath. And slowly come out of the pose. Bring your feet together. Shake out your feet. Bring your other knee to the side of the chair. Separate your feet. The distance between your legs is up to you. Make sure you're in a stable, balanced posture. Hips are facing the side of the chair. So if you're turning, fix your foot, fix your hips so that you're facing the chair. This is Warrior One legs. Bring your hands to heart center or continue to hold if you need, but lift your torso. Look at something straight ahead that's not moving, your drishti point. Maybe lift your arms. Maybe even look up slightly. Slow your breath. Warrior One. Again, breathing through your nose, send your breath down into the earth through your feet, up into the sky through your arms and your head, and breathe. Feel the power of Warrior One. And again, the warrior in yoga is for peace, for all things that support goodness in life. The earth, people, the animals that inhabit the earth. Slow, steady breath. Bring your hands to heart center, hold onto the chair, straighten that knee, stand up tall, engage the muscles of your core. Inhale, and on an exhale, come forward a little or a lot. Stay here, and if this still feels good, inhale, and maybe exhale lower by bending your elbows, and maybe not. You can even come to your forearms, only going as far as your body needs, with kindness. No space for self-critical thoughts. We deepen our yoga practice by practice, never by forcing. And slowly come out of the pose, standing up, shaking out your feet. Bring the first knee to the side of the chair. This time, place your other foot perpendicular. So now your hips are facing me if your chair is set up like this. Perpendicular to the side of the chair, level with the front of the chair if your chair is in this position. Holding on to the chair, straighten that knee. Hands on hip, or maybe both arms out, shoulder height. Engage the muscles of your core, and with a straight back, gently move either to holding on to the chair or maybe coming to the base of the chair into triangle. Go only as far as feels good in your body. A gentle stretch is what we're after. No pain. Your gaze can be straight ahead, down, or even up. Up is the hardest, and do that only if it feels right for your neck. Slow, steady breaths, triangle pose. Look down at your chair and slowly rise, coming out of triangle pose. Come to the other side of your chair so we can keep seeing each other, and bring the other knee to the side of the chair. Back foot is perpendicular. And I'm going to come a little further because otherwise I'm going to hit my wall. Good. Make sure your chair is stable though if you've moved it off a mat. If not, bring it back. Hips are facing forward, perpendicular to where your knee is hitting the chair. Maybe lift your arms, keep them at heart center. One hand on your hip, listening to your body. Start by holding on to the chair, and then very gradually with your back straight, coming into your version of, forgot to tell you, straighten that knee. Let's come back. Straighten your knee, arm position, coming into triangle, listening to your body, doing only what's right for you. Your gaze is where your neck is comfortable. I'm going to continue to look straight ahead. Slow, steady breaths. This is a strong, powerful pose. Listening to your body and doing only as much of it as right for you. And it's certainly okay to keep your hands on your hips. And breathe. And slowly come back up. And let's come to mountain pose, my favorite yoga pose. Because you can take this pose anywhere, including off the mat. Stand up tall, push the ball of your foot and the heel of your feet into the mat. Lift your toes, put them down to make sure you're not grasping with your toes, but using the whole foot to push into the mat. Knees are over ankles, shoulders over hips, ears, ideally over shoulders. Engage the muscles of your core, relax the muscles of your face and your jaw. Either look straight ahead at something not moving, your dristy point, or close your eyes and look inward. Hands can be facing towards your legs or open if that feels good. Slow your breath and stand in this stately mountain pose, the symbol of balance. To remind us as we do self-reflection this month that life is full of happiness and sadness, good times, difficult times, and it is almost completely useless to crave only good times. It's just not possible. The thing is to learn to live with what life gives us, working to fix things that are fixable, learning to live with things that we cannot change, bringing peace a little bit at a time into our own lives and into the world, maybe even doing something that actively fixes something broken in the world, even a little thing, or especially a little thing, and breathe. Bring your hands to heart center and step out of the pose. Let's do another chair since it's such an important posture for us as we age. Bend your knees, engage the muscles of your legs, and maybe bring your hands forward. Slow, steady breaths. And come out of the pose and come to the back of your chair. We're going to do a few moon poses in honor of the coming new moon. We're in a crescent moon stage tonight. Stand up tall, lift your hands overhead. This is a variation of mountain pose. Maybe your hands don't come together, it's okay, but if they do, inhale, and on an exhale, come to crescent moon. And you can also do this holding on, if that feels more stable. Inhale, and on an exhale, come to crescent moon on the other side, doing whatever is right for your body. Stand up tall, separate your feet, holding onto the chair if you need. I'm just going to move mine a little bit aside so you can see my legs. Point your toes out, holding on, or maybe if you're able, lift both hands. If you're feeling stable or not, hold on to the chair. Maybe look up. Maybe bring your arm or arms back slightly. This will help to open your chest. The full pose can be called joy, or full moon, or five-pointed star. It's hard to be sad in this pose, so if you're feeling a little blue and nobody's looking, just stand up tall, maybe stay in mountain pose for a few breaths, and then come to this pose. Slow, steady breaths. Bring your hands to heart center, hands to your hips. Make sure your legs are stable. Bring your knees over your ankles and maybe come to the full pose, goddess squat. The goddess is associated with the feminine and with the moon. And breathe, look straight ahead. If you need more, maybe holding on, come to your tippy toes on each foot. That may feel like a nice stretch. Hands can be wherever you need, and maybe even lifting both. Hold on if you're not sure of your balance. And come back up, shake out your feet, and we'll do a balance pose. Look at something pretty. If you've got a tree to look at, that's great. Bring your weight to one foot and make your tree. The opposite foot can come anywhere along that leg, but not the knee. And then figure out the arms. Are you going to lift one? Are you going to keep the foot on the mat and lift both? Do whatever feels right for you. Make your tree bloom. And breathe. Look straight ahead. Slow breaths. Looking at that Drishti point will help your balance. Bring your hands down. Come out of the pose and come to the other side. Your version. Holding on, one arm up, both hands on the back of the chair, whatever you need. Maybe you're holding on and lifting your leg a little, experimenting with just letting go, doing what's right for you. Using that Drishti point and slow breathing. shake out your feet. And let's do washing machine. So come to the side of your chair. And bend your knees and just let everything go. You can either continue to look straight or take your head with you, whatever is better for your balance. Maybe open and close your hands, whatever feels good. Maybe you feel like dancing, just letting everything go. And then if you want, you can also do hula hoop, whatever feels good. Moving in both directions. And stand up tall and very slowly lowering yourself into your seat. And this time pushing back, preparing for final resting pose and a meditation. So still sit up tall. If your chair has a flat back that reaches you, that's great. If this is the way you want to sit, leaning back, that's okay. But if you can, just let your buttocks hit the back of the chair. Lift your torso. Find a comfortable place for your hands. Some people like touching thumb to first finger. It has some benefits with memory, it's said. But relax into whatever posture you can hold for 3 minutes. And just for this time, with your eyes closed or eyes open looking down, just continue to be in this space. You can do this by repeating to yourself as you breathe, breathing in, breathing out. You can listen with your ears, being aware of sounds or the lack of sounds around you. You can picture the most beautiful mountain you know and just look at the image, or some place that you love to be. Or if your mind is just racing, see where it's going, but each time it wanders, bring it back to this moment, to this space, to this time together that we've had. And breathe. We'll come out of the pose with the sound of the bell for one final thought. Slow, steady breaths. Slowly begin to move your fingers and toes. Maybe taking one last stretch. Bring your hands to heart center. Keep your eyes closed. And this is my meditation for us in this month of self-reflection. May each of us be safe and protected and free from inner and outer harm. May each of us find joy every day in something large or small, even in difficult times. May we be strong but not rigid, resilient when we can be, forgiving ourselves when we can't be. May our actions be guided by kindness always, and if not, with an apology. May we use our wisdom. May all of this lead to a life lived with ease, helping to bring even just a tiny bit of peace into the world. Thank you for joining me today. Let us say together, Namaste.